Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Miss Nonna Victoria.
And welcome back to our channel.
Who doesn't love a good potato?
I certainly do.
I know, especially mashed potatoes,
right?
right?
Oh my word, they're delicious.
True comfort food right there.
Right? Especially for fall.
Uh-huh.
So what we'd like to do today is show you different tricks on how to make mashed potatoes. And some of the tricks that my grandmother, my Sicilian grandmother, shared with me when I was young and helping her in the kitchen.
Yeah, because you don't want them pasty or lumpy.
No, nobody likes that.
And she was good at them.
She was really good. So, come along and we'll show you how we make our mashed potatoes. All right, so this is our basic mashed potato recipe.
A classic.
That we use in our family, right?
Yeah.
But we can also doctor this up. So there's different ways you can do that. Like we said earlier, you can use Philadelphia cream cheese, you could use some chopped bacon, or here we're to use pancetta, some chives, and you can even serve it with cheese on top too.
Yeah, you can do it with jack, with cheddar, whatever you want. If you want it to be the star, or if you know, depending on what you're serving it with, different meats, different cheeses would go really well with it. So just have fun.
Exactly.
It's a blank canvas.
A delicious one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so to start with, we have our potatoes. We've already peeled them, and we're using 1.5 kilos of potatoes, so about 3 pounds of potatoes. And so what you want to do with your potatoes after you've peeled them is you want to cut them as evenly as possible so that they cook evenly within your pan. So you can quarter them like this and just dump them in. And so we're just going to do this to all the potatoes, and then we will add our cold salted water to them and then boil them. Next, we're going to add the water to our chopped potatoes. And we just want enough water to cover them. And we want to use cold water in doing this. So just enough. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water. That looks good. All right. And then we just add a little bit of salt to the water. It seasons the potatoes while they're cooked. All right, so now we're going to put this on the stove. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then I'll show you how to test it to see if the potatoes are done. All right, so our potatoes have been boiling now for a little bit. I'm going to show you how to test them. I like to use a fork, and you just gently go in. And when the fork goes nicely into the potato softly, or gently I should say, with not much force, you can tell it's done. So we're just going to shut the burner off. We're going to drain those in the strainer, and then we'll start adding our butter and our seasonings and our warm milk. All right, so now we're going to add our butter into our potatoes. So we're going to use about 2 sticks of butter. Just put that right in there. And we're going to let that melt a little bit. We're going to cover it, let it melt while we heat up our milk. All right, so we can see our butter is melting nicely in there with our potatoes. And Victoria's stirring our milk as it warms up.
Now, Dad, what's the benefit of using warm milk, or why do you use warm milk?
I don't know. My grandmother always had warm milk. That's what she did. No, I'm just teasing. But she said it made the potatoes creamier. So.
It probably doesn't cool them down, too, when you put them in, right?
Very true. Yeah. So, while the milk is warming up, I'm just going to start mashing our potatoes. Working that butter in. Getting the right consistency. Wow. You can really smell that butter. It smells really good.
Do you prefer to mash them as opposed to using a ricer or putting them in a blender or anything?
I don't recommend that at all. I know I've seen some people do it. The problem is when you use a mixer, it can get really sticky or turn into a paste, and then it's not good. It's not a good consistency. It's not a mashed potato anymore. It's wallpaper paste.
Yeah, it's gluey.
Yeah, so as you can see how nicely these kind of just smashed up. It's like the perfect consistency of what we're looking for. And how is that milk coming along?
Looks good.
All right. All right, so now we're going to add our sour cream in, or you could use Philadelphia cream cheese if you'd like. And I like to put that in there, it makes it nice and rich. All right. And then just give that a good stir and mix in there. And you can see how creamy it's already getting. And really, typical Italian, right? You go by taste, texture, and so forth. Depending on the texture you like, it depends on how much of the warm milk you add as well. So it's pretty good. It looks pretty good. Now we're going to add some milk. And even though this looks like the right texture, we want to make it a little bit looser on the looser side, because when these potatoes set for a little bit, they're going to solidify a little bit and we don't want them hard. So Victoria, if you would be kind enough to add a little bit of milk in there. Perfect. I'm just going to stir that in gently with my potato masher. When we were kids, we used to do this and really get it mixed in well. Maybe a little bit more. Great, thank you. All right.
It smells so good.
Doesn't it? And look at those mashed potatoes.
Yum.
So now we're going to add the salt and pepper. And once again, this is to taste. And so we're going to now add some pepper. A little bit. Mix that in. And if you have, if this is going to be a side that has a gravy or something that's very flavorful, you can go lighter on the salt and pepper, because the gravy and the other dish that you're serving it with, you don't want it to fight with the flavor, but you want it to complement it. So that looks pretty good. What do you think, Victoria?
I think it looks done.
Should we taste it?
Sure.
All right, let's get our test spoons out. That's very good.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed this video, and please try this recipe. Let us know what you think about it as well. And until then, please like and subscribe to our channel.
And turn on your notifications.
And ciao for now.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.